Hey guys, it's Julian, and today I'm going to be showing you how to take a 909 standard 909 kick like this and turn it into a super fat, hard-hitting techno kick like this. And yeah, so before I start, everything from this video is going to be available. This whole project file, all the presets and all that stuff I'm about to create is available right at the top of the description for free, so make sure to go grab that. And yeah, let's get started. So a little bit of background here. The 909 kick is sort of the quintessential techno kick. Like a lot of these kinds of kicks that you hear in tracks, these just like super hard hitting, bassy, punchy kicks that people are using now, are a lot of times just like based on a 909, and then it's just been through either like a lot of different generations of resampling, meaning like people have put it through a lot of different processing and then bounced it out and bounced it out multiple times, or it's just been through a lot of different things that I'm going to be showing you today. But yeah, the 909 kick really is like the essential techno kick. And it's a great place to start when you're trying to make a new one or trying to make your own sort of like fat punchy kicks like this. So the secret here really is just going to come down to actually using some kind of like a guitar style distortion. Like maybe it could be a guitar amp, it could be a guitar pedal, or it could be some combination of both. You know, you could use like an amp simulator. I'm going to just be using Ableton's pedal here today, but you can see when we put this on here, it gets a bit crunchy, but if you turn on the sub, you can actually start getting it to be pretty fat just right off the bat like that. And then we're going to low pass it a little bit going into this as well, which you can see kind of helps it to get a little bit less of that like crunch on there. But yeah, so now we've got that. We can take it, and I'll put a bit of drum bus on it as well. And so now you can see we're starting to get close. You know, we have a lot more body to the sound. And it's a lot fatter than when we first started. Now, at this stage, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to save it. And then we're going to freeze this one and flatten it. So now we're bouncing it down to audio so that we just have it as like with this processing as its own waveform. And you can see this waveform is a lot closer now too to the standard techno kick. Like if we look at this, you can see we've got a lot bigger waveform and it's a little bit longer compared to this first generation where it was just like stopping about there and then kind of tapering off. So you can see like even the waveforms are starting to get close, and that's a good way to study kicks like this too. Like if you want to make your own really hard kicks like this using 909s and stuff, you kind of just have to go and like, you know, really study what's going on there and like listen to this kick and like figure out what you can do. But cool, so from there, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this into its own sampler, which just makes it a little bit easier to work with. And yeah, so we can take that and we'll just make a little clip. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to put this into one-shot mode. And we're going to use the fades and kind of shorten it a little. Not a whole lot, but I just want to get rid of that like don't kind of like bass note that's attached to it, while still keeping like the body of the kick. But yeah, so that's pretty good. You can see now we have that same punchy kick, but it's a bit shorter now. And yeah, cool. So from there, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go and add a pitch envelope to this. Now, I actually haven't seen this in any other tutorials before on YouTube, but this is a really great way to add punch to your 909, because if you look at the waveform of our kick right now, see how we do have a transient up here? The transient would be like right at the start of the kick. Like you can actually see it a little bit clearer on this 909, the first one, transient will be like this, like that little click right at the start. And so you can see we have a pretty nice one on this one. It definitely is there, but it's not quite the same as like what you see on this kick. So to fix this, we're going to use this pitch envelope. And what this does is you're adding just a quick little dip in pitch. So it's starting at a higher pitch, and then it's going to jump down. Like in this case, let's say we started at 8 semitones. It's going to just go down as an envelope here, just the same like an amplitude envelope would do. Like if you think of the attack and decay and sustain and release on like a synth or something like that, but it's going to be with the pitch. So what we're going to be able to do is have this quick sort of like bloop at the start of the sound, and that's going to create a nice transient on here. So we can just kind of start playing around with this. There's really no like quintessential setting for this. You kind of just have to play around with it and find what sounds good with your kick. If you do too much, it can end up like this, where it's just kind of like super short. But now you can see we're adding a lot of punch to the kick. So there's without the pitch envelope, and with it. So we're literally just like fabricating a transient onto this kick. And you can see we're getting closer, and it doesn't have to be exactly this kick. Also, keep in mind, like, whatever kick you're using as reference, it's not going to be exactly the same kick. But we're just using this to see, like, okay, how is the transient going to sound? How hard is it going to hit? Like, that kind of stuff. So now this is sounding pretty nice. I'm going to just fine tune this transient a little bit more. And there we go. So then from here, usually I would do maybe a little bit more distortion. We could try like this guitar amp pedal. But I think that's not really going to cut it. I think at this stage we just need a bit more drum bus. And I'm also going to EQ it a little bit. We're going to get rid of some of these like bassy frequencies. With some of the mud like along there. Alright, cool, and there we go. So now, at this stage, I'm going to take this and we're going to freeze it one more time. So, again, we'll duplicate it. So this way, when you download this project file, you'll have each step of the way so you can kind of see, like, what to do. But yeah, so we'll freeze this, flatten it, and then from here, so now we have a kick that's looking a lot closer to this Techno kick now. You can see we have like a sharper transient at the start. It's a lot more defined. It's not too long, but it has some body to it. You can see also like, see how these waveforms aren't just like perfect like up and down, but it's a little bit kind of staggered. We're getting that a bit now from the distortion. So we're starting to really build this into a nice kick. But yeah, and then the last step here is just going to be a bit more low passing, actually, to get rid of some of those like sharp highs. And then we're going to crunch it up a little bit more. Let's use actually, I also like using overdrive sometimes for these kicks. There we go, and then we'll put a drum bus on the end there. Except going into this, I'm going to turn down this trim here. Alright, there we go. So we're just kind of shaping the kick with a bit of filtering. You know, like I'm getting rid of some of those like nasty highs. And I think I'm actually going to replace this overdrive for a saturator. We'll use the wave shaper here, which is a really good way to give it like even more punch while still being able to like really dial it in. And there we go, and then we just kind of filter it a little bit more with some EQ. And we have a pretty nice, powerful kick that, again, is pretty similar to these other techno kicks that you hear, and definitely hard enough. Like, it definitely hits as hard as one of these kicks. And now, we just add on my little rumble rack here. You know, just set the, let's turn on the delay. We'll set the sidechain as well so that it's going to this one. And then a little bit of drum bus after. And now, we have ourselves a pretty nice techno kick. You can see also, like, with a little bit more work, we actually don't really need a whole lot of saturation afterwards. With a little bit more work, you can actually turn this into a pretty nice hard techno kick as well, too, if you want that, like, distorted kind of sound. But yeah, so there it is. We've gone from a standard 909 kick, which if I turn off this processing, into a really hard-hitting, nice, powerful techno kick, all just using 909 samples and Ableton built-in distortion. So anybody can do this with any sample. Again, it just comes down to referencing and sort of understanding what you need out of your kick, and then just creating that using the tools that are available. So yeah, that's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe. And let me know what you think of this video in the comments. You can get the samples and project file and all this stuff from this video for free right at the top of the description. Definitely go check that out. And if you guys want to support me, all my other sample packs are available on the Bandcamp link in the description for just $5. That's a really great way to support me if you like this video and if it helped you. And yeah, that is me for this one, guys, and I will see you tomorrow with another video.